Okay, now we'll look at this last section using this list of tax brackets. So the first scenario, you have a friend who's making $44,500 in 2022, but he got a $1,000 raise for 2023, which means he made $45,500. And he tells you this: the raise hurts him because it pushes him to the next tax bracket. In 2022, he was in the 12% bracket, which means he was taxed $5,340. For 2023, he's in the 22% bracket, so now he's going to have to pay $10,000 in taxes. He got a $1,000 raise, but he's going to have to pay an extra $5,000 in taxes. Your friend is wrong. Explain to him how the raise affected his taxes. So let's just do the math for him. The first $11,000 of his salary gets taxed at 10%. So that's $1,100 that he would pay in taxes. And then from 11 to 44,000, I'm just going to say 44,500. I'm going to cut the bracket there, even though it says 44,725, but just to make the math easier. So from 11,000 to 44,500, that is $33,500. He gets taxed at 12%. So 33,500 times 12%. 4,020. So for 11,000 to that was 4,020. So his total for 2022 would have been 40. Be 5,120. Okay, so then in 2023 he got a raise. His first 11,000 still gets taxed the same. So he still has that $1,100 tax payment. The second amount also gets taxed the same, 34,500. That falls in this bracket right here. So that still gets taxed at 12%. So that payment is the same. $4,020. So all he has is that $1,000 raise falls into the third bracket, his 22% bracket. So he's going to pay 22% tax on that $1,000. And that would be $2,200. Making his, that would be 220. Not 2,200. It would be $220. Wait, I'm not a math teacher. So his total comes to 5,320. So from that $1,000 raise, he's going to pocket $780. So it's a good thing he got the raise. That's a positive thing, not a negative thing. So this is the math behind it. When you answer it, you're explaining to him how the raise affected his taxes. So now you know this. You still have to explain it. So you can't just simply show the math. You're going to have to explain to your friend why he's wrong, that $1,000 raise didn't raise his taxes by $5,000. Okay, and the second problem, you have a friend who makes $200,000 a year. He's in the 32% tax bracket. He says he supports a 30% flat tax because he works hard to make his money. So he'd rather pay 30% than 32%. He claims that with a 30% flat tax, he would pay less taxes. Explain to him how he's wrong. Okay, this one, you could do the math the same way. So he makes 200,000. You would just take each. So his first 11,000, he gets taxed at 10%. And then that second chunk of money, so from 11,000 to 44,725, he gets taxed 12%. This next bracket, he gets taxed 22%. This next bracket, and he fills up this bucket up to 182,000, he gets taxed at 24%. And then that last $18,000 of his income gets taxed at 32%. And you could do the math and add it up, and you'd see he's going to pay around, it's like 42,000 in taxes under our progressive tax system. But if he were to pay a 30% flat tax on that 200,000, he'd be paying about 60 grand in taxes. So while a 30% flat tax sounds like it would be less than what you would pay if you fall in the 32% tax bracket, really when you fall in the 32% tax bracket, it's only the last bit of your money that falls in that bracket. Most of your money is being taxed at a lot lower rate. Okay, so you have some numbers right there. If you want to understand it completely, you can actually do the math like we did in the first problem. But again, your answer isn't the math. It isn't these numbers. Your answer is your explanation to your friend. That's it.